Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, we get some people coming in here onto this live. I am actually going to be using my desktop this time. I've been doing a lot of testing on here, cell phone, browser from the computer, OBS, Streamlabs, etc. We're going to give it a shot and see if we actually get it right this time. Might be a little bit of echo in here, testing my sound. And let me see. Oh, I see. It's because of that. Got it. Good morning, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm still kind of setting up in here. Yeah. All right, let's see if that works there. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, today I am going to be showing you guys of some stuff that I want to touch up on. And one of them, of course, as the title says, we're going to talk about government shutdown and unconstitutional policing. Now, I got some clips to show you guys, and I'm actually excited. Hopefully, this will actually work. Um, I find that for some reason, we are not getting the live feed that we normally get from mobile devices. So I'm going to start off here. I got two of these devices are mine, so I got one person on. If you can check in, say hello. Um, let's see. We're going to start off with a question. Do you think police should defend criminals and arrest law-abiding citizens? I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there and see if we get any response from there. Vince, hard to hear you. Okay, let me turn this baby up. How about now? Let me go louder. Okay, that's as loud as I can go, I guess. I'm gonna have to put this off my ear though. Thank you for the reply there, Vince. Appreciate it. Well, all right. So the first thing that I want to do is number one. I want to say thanks to all my subscribers. Thank you for the likes, and to those who have become members. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and wait just a few minutes, probably just a few minutes, and we're going to see if we can get some of our subscribers in here. I know that a lot of you have told me that, thank you, Vince, that a lot of you don't get the notifications. I'm not really sure why that is, but I mean, I got out of my phone, I got the notification on my phone, so I'm not sure what the algorithm is doing. I don't know what the YouTube servers are doing, but I find that we don't get as much reaction or at least activity when I'm using the desktop. Don't know really. I'm not sure any type of security or maybe privacy settings that I have. Uh, Not really sure what's going on with that, but I am glad that we're actually trying to get this baby going. Now, I will start off with, I think we're going to start with some Peter Ducey from Fox. Got some juicy stuff for us. And then we're going to go through a few clips, and I'll share it to you as you are getting in here. All right, I'll tell you what, I do have things to do with my wife this morning. So we're just gonna go ahead and start getting into it. You guys can, if you're watching this later, well, hopefully you get to watch the whole video. But I'm gonna start off with this is Peter Ducey, and Nancy Pelosi just doesn't believe what she hears. But I do have something to say. So let me see, make sure I got my desktop audio on here.
There is zero good reason for them to vote to shut the government down right now. They are doing it for political reasons.
All we're asking is for the Trump administration and Republicans could come to the table and negotiate. Instead, He's acting like a mobster.
This is a failure of leadership. Republicans lead the House, Republicans lead the Senate, Republicans lead the White House.
The far left and the base really went crazy on poor Chuck Schumer, and so he changed his tune.
Live look at Washington, D.C. this afternoon as lawmakers point fingers over the government shutdown. The shutdown now rolling into a second day, 37 hours and counting, according to the White House clock. Well, I'm John Roberts in Washington, and welcome to Friday Eve, as we like to call it around here.
Yep,
looking
great to
lovely
be
in white today, Sandra.
Thank you very much, John. Good to be with you and kick off a new hour here. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and this is America Reports. So Republicans say Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is more concerned with giving health care to illegal immigrants than keeping the government open. And a potential 2028 primary from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is looming above his head. But first, a quick flashback. Democrats giving illegal immigrants health care isn't a new policy position.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
That about says it. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum also slamming the Democratic Party for its, quote, intent to close our parks, stop U.S. energy production, and hinder our first responders.
The secretary will be joining us live here on America Reports in moments. But let's kick things off.
Now, I want to say, you know, for the Democrats right now that say that they are not allowing illegal immigrants to get benefits, I think that these videos actually illustrate the opposite of where they stand and what they really believe on doing. Now, first of all, before we continue, apologize for the delay on the switch in there. I'm still trying to get a hold of the software, trying to figure out how to do these cuts. I know it's very simple, especially if you know how to do it all the time. This is a new software for me, so I'm still getting used to it. All right, and with that being said, the Democrat politicians, now some of them are realizing that what some of their party members are doing is not right. Omar, good morning, my friend. Homeless for Trump. You will not be homeless forever, my friend. God bless you. Oompa Loompa, Old Portland PD should be arrested and charged for aiding in criminal behavior. We'll get there, Oompa. We'll get there. I want to touch up on these government shutdown, and then we will go ahead and hit Portland after we're done with this. But I really want to point out some stuff. And guys, bear with me. Not very good with the switching scenes over here. And I mean, it should be very easy, but I apologize about that. Do you guys hear an echo by any chance? Just a little quick sound check. If you guys don't hear an echo, then we are in good hands. I'll go ahead and give you guys a chance to respond there. Omar, how can you hear me? Let's see. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me turn up the volume on my phone and see. Okay. No, I think it sounds okay. All right. So Democrats are, as everybody knows, they're eating each other, you know, in their party. They think that they know what they're fighting for. Thank you, Oompa. I appreciate you, brother. They don't want to accept, and I've noticed that a lot of people don't accept that illegal immigrants are getting healthcare benefits and other government benefits that belongs only to American citizens. Now, you know, I remember when I was 16. I've been emancipated since I was 16 years old. And I went to apply for food stamps, right? And number one, you had to be 18 in order to apply. But I was emancipated, which means that I was on my own practically as a teenager. Luckily, I didn't go to no foster care, and I was able to stay on my own. And I remember that the requirement was I had to be 18 or, you know, that I have to be a resident, at least a resident, in order to get benefits. So I couldn't get that help back then when I was underage. Once I turned 18, I was already working 2 jobs after I graduated high school, so I no longer qualified for food stamps. And I also didn't qualify for medical. So that's the way that the system has been made, and that's the way that it has worked all this time. But for some reason, Democrats have found a way to give these benefits to illegal immigrants. Now, I think there is something to do with maybe some asylees, that maybe they get some of the health care when they come to this country. But that is one of the reasons why we have restricted rules about, asylum. People that come from South America seeking asylum in the United States, they're not seeking asylum because they're afraid of being killed. No, they come to the United States strictly because they can get benefits. And unfortunately, there's a lot of really bad criminals that have come through the border illegally. But nonetheless, the point stands. The illegal immigrants or any migrants, for that matter, even if you're a legal alien visiting this country, even if you are legal, like legal status to visit for 3 months, 6 months, whatever the status is, you do not qualify for American benefits. That's what I'm going to call it, American benefits. All right? So we're going to continue taking a look and see what Peter Ducey says over here. Let's continue watching this real quick.
With Peter Ducey, he is live at the White House for us. Hello, Peter.
Sandra, good afternoon. Here at the White House, they call it the Schumer shutdown, but officials are candid about who they think is really pulling the strings.
But the reality here, and let's be honest about the politics, is that Chuck Schumer is terrified she's going to get a primary challenge from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The reason why the American people's government is shut down is because Chuck Schumer is listening to the far-left radicals in his own party because he's terrified of a primary challenge.
And the vice president is right about her clout because after AOC said this,
I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly.
Then Nancy Pelosi, widely accepted as the most influential congressional Democrat of an entire generation, couldn't believe her ears.
There was a thought from the Republicans that AOC is directing this, and she said that senators are welcome to go to her office directly. Is she driving that?
Why are you saying such a ridiculous thing?
I'm just quoting what AOC said. She said go to
She don't
her
wanna
office
believe it.
directly. Do you think there's any credibility
She is
to
not
that?
directing this. She's wonderful. She's a real
Can't
team
even lie.
player and the rest of that. You started by saying Republicans saying that she's directing this. She is not. Hakeem Jeffries is.
President Trump and Russ Vought, the budget chief, are planning to meet at some point today to talk about Project 2025 style budget cuts, something that are easier to make during a shutdown. Sandra?
Okay, Peter Ducey setting it up for us. Thank you very much, Peter. John?
So let's get something clear here. Let's get something clear. Now, I don't want to ruin it for other people that are rooting for the Democrats to look horrible, okay? Now, I want to clarify something. If you listen to Ocasio-Cortez on there, she says that Republicans think, okay? You got to pay attention to that. The Republicans think that Ocasio-Cortez is in charge. And she says, well, if that is true, now I take it with a grain of salt. I give her the benefit of doubt. And she says, if what you're saying is true, then come into my office and, right? So she's not really saying, I am in charge. And if you want to get some answers, well, you come into my office and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to give her the benefit of doubt on that. And I'm going to take away the thunder from the Fox News channel. Sorry, Doozy. I love you, man. I think you're awesome. I had so many laughs during the Biden's administration because of your great reporting. But in this case, we have to be fair. We are not going to be against one party or the other. We want to be right in the middle. Let's get this straight. Right now, I support President Donald Trump. I support the Republican Party. because right now they are the party that are trying to fight to defend our country. And so I am going to stick with that, and I'm going to believe that that is the right thing to do. Now, it's never going to be perfect. And, if you hate Trump, man, that's a bad way to live. But anyways, salud. Let's see if I can get that in there. Boom. Best dad ever. Oh, and this coffee that my wife made me is so good. All right, let's go ahead and continue this clip. But I want to get into why we have a government shutdown. Let me close this clip that I have here. I think that's enough from this one, I believe. You know what? Let's go ahead and finish this. I got an hour and a half, 2 hours to do this live, so let's continue listening.
Lots to chew over here with the Interior Secretary, Doug Burgum, who joins us now. You heard what the Vice President said there, Mr. Secretary, about this being driven by political pressure from the left and a potential primary challenge to Chuck Schumer in 2028. Jared Golden, Democrat from Maine, would seem to agree with the Vice President. He said the following, quote, "This government shutdown is the result of hardball politics driven by demands far-left groups are making for Democratic Party leaders to put on a show of their opposition to President Trump. There's room and time to negotiate, but normal policy disagreements are no reason to subject our constituents to the continued harm of the shutdown." To you, is this about policy or is it about politics?
This is 100% politics, John and Sandra. The Vice President said it clearly. The representative from Maine also nailed it when he was talking about this, because as Americans need to know, the House has already passed a continuing resolution. There are no changes to the federal budget on the line. If people want to negotiate, they can do that while the government's running, as opposed to when it's shut down. And Americans need to know this Democrat shutdown, this Schumer shutdown, for an agency like Interior, where we've got tens of thousands of people across the country, we're now doing everything we can to try to keep our parks open. We can't use any appropriated funds during a time like this, so we've got to be very creative about legally finding ways to pay people and do that. Our first responders, firefighters, law enforcement, all the things that we're doing to keep the essential services going. This just distracts us from advancing and moving things forward for the American people. You would never run a business this way. This is 100% politics.
Spoken like a true businessman. Mr. Secretary, good to have you on the program. Here's Secretary Bessent. He went on CNBC earlier today. He is making the case that this is all about Schumer's poll numbers. Listen.
Chuck Schumer did the right thing in the spring and led the Senate to a clean CR. What's changed since then is it's his poll numbers. The President, Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, they're not negotiating with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. They're negotiating with Representative Ocasio-Cortez because she's nipping at his heels. And, so the American people are being held hostage by Chuck Schumer's poll numbers.
Well, as you are also making a similar case, will the American people just see right through this?
I hope that they do see right through this, and I hope they see through it quickly so that we can get back to work advancing the agenda that the American people voted for under President Trump, making so much progress on so many fronts because this can affect energy production. I mean, we're
all right, and this is what I know that some people don't like to hear that Fox News is giving you the news and, they are right-wing media and et cetera, et cetera. But, you got to pay attention, right? Even if you're watching Fox, if you're watching CNN, you're watching MSN, et cetera, you will know that all of these legacy media outlets, okay, they will lean towards one side more than the other. And I think I just made my point, right? I'm watching Fox News. Ozzy, how are you, brother? Let me just say hello, completely all the way in here. Thank you for joining, brother. Omar, love you, man. We're praying for you. Thank you, Oompa Loompa, for checking in. Vince, I'm not sure if these guys are still in here, but I want to say thank you for just stopping by and saying hello. I think that when you guys watch news, you have to be honest with yourself. Okay, what are you looking for? Are you just trying to listen to a news outlet because you like everything they say, or do you want to watch it to see if they actually promote what they say, that, what's the fact, right? So I know Peter Ducey, as I said, I love this guy. He made me laugh a lot with Biden. He has some good questions. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. And, he has some good questions, etc. But in this case, when you listen to Ocasio-Cortez, she says, if Republicans think that I am, right, then you can come into my office. That, to me, I don't know how you see it, but to me, that is not an affirmation that she is in charge. And yes, and I believe Nancy Pelosi, I think she's still full of it, but I believe that Jeffries is in charge. That is who the Democratic Party want in charge, because he is a Timu Obama, right? So they think that he is the closest to being like Barack Obama. Now, I don't know. Some people say that Barack Obama was a good speaker and all these good qualities with speech. But I think that it doesn't matter how good you try to speak when you talk bullcrap. It is just what it is, right? I believe a lot of the things that he said because he actually did them. Like, for example, he ran the campaign, Barack Obama, ran the campaign on immigration reform. He promised a lot of us Latinos that we were going to get papers. Now, I say we, even though I'm an American citizen now, I say we because the Latino community is all connected, right? You guys already know, you've been on my live, you know my channel, and you know that I don't support illegal immigration. Now, with that being said, Barack Obama did bring the immigration reform to Congress. Congress said, no, we don't want it, blah, blah, blah. Bada bing, bada boom, didn't get done. Got it. Okay, and so now we're looking at ourselves and be like, okay, are we saying the right thing? Are we backing up the right people? Those are the things that I have to to think about, right? Let me see. I had because I don't see it in here anymore. Doggone it! I think I just closed it. I had a video from Senator Kennedy. Let me see if I can find it back. I love this video, and I'm going to have to look it back. Sorry about that, guys. Senator Kennedy is the funniest guy, I think. Let me look in here. Come on, baby. Yeah, there he is.
800.
So he's talking about the big, beautiful bill. And now you guys know that I kind of covered that at the beginning of my channel. Maybe not. Maybe nobody was watching. Like right now, nobody's watching. There's like 5 people on here. And but I want to play this clip because Senator Kennedy actually says some good stuff in here. And you won't be able to see the actual, I don't know, maybe you could, the actual writing on the paper, but this is about the big beautiful bill that Timu Obama kept calling it the big ugly bill. And he kept calling illegal immigrants law-abiding migrants, which, by the way, again, if you are a migrant and you are legal in this country, you do not qualify for health benefits. You don't qualify for food stamps. You don't get an EBT. You don't get none of the benefits that belong to the American citizens, period. Whether you're here legal or illegal. It doesn't matter. If you're not a resident or a citizen, you don't qualify for these benefits. This is why the people of America is paying taxes to help Americans when they are in need. Ozzy says, I don't watch any of the mainstream media. I watch the clips on channels like yours and listen to podcasts. I appreciate that, Ozzy. I do listen to podcasts as well, but I do like to watch some of these reporting news. A lot of times, these media outlets, I know some podcasters are now getting access into the White House, but most of the time it's the actual legacy media that gets into the White Office for these press conferences. And I think that they come out with some good information. So I got to watch everything, listen to podcasts. I mean, I'm constantly, guys, all the time, listening to the news, listening to podcasters, watching news, especially from Hispanic countries. You guys don't get to hear that too much in the American countries. But let's take a listen to what Kennedy is bringing up over here. I hope I got the right time on this. Here we go.
for transgender people in Nepal, $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho, $882,000 for social media and mentorship in Serbia, $4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda. I could spend the rest of the afternoon here. We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. It upset the socialist wing of her party. And now that wing of her party and the Congresswoman are threatening all other Democrats and saying, you've got to shut that government down until we get what we want. And part of what they want is to add this kind of stuff back into the bill. And that's what this fight is all about.
So I want to point out, okay, I hear you comment there, Lauren. Let's see. Yeah, they're a protected class, Vince. You're correct. So I agree with everything that Lauren just put on there. And my point on doing this kind of videos is you have to understand why. You know, I get people posting on my shorts, on my other videos, other lives, during the live and after the lives, and they always come in and they say, oh, it's because Donald Trump's tariffs. Well, let me tell you what I see. I live in a blue state. I live in Washington State. In this blue state, we had great farming, okay, great farming. And we had a healthy budget of about $16 billion. Now, the last two governors that we have had in Washington State have managed to make that $16 billion budget. They have, as you have heard some of this stuff that Kennedy, Senator Kennedy is saying, this is true. And it happens a lot. Here in Washington State, our farmers are neglected. Number one, that is not the president's responsibility. That will be the governor's responsibility. This is why we have local government, right? And we're going to touch on that because we're going to talk about Oregon in just a bit. So I like that people come in here and they complain about tariffs, but they never say anything about what their governors are doing in their state, what the mayors, what their senators, what the representatives are doing in their state. They never say anything. They never question them. Now, I complain so much about taxes. Taxes. Here in Washington State, they have made our healthy $16 billion budget into a negative $32 billion. How does that happen? And then you hear stories like the same as in California, right? They spend billions of dollars on this project, and then that project never took off, like the rail, right? Taxes on farms are not increasing minimum wages, to blame for that. Vince, thank you for that. And you know what? But they're not going to stick around, right? They're just going to say what they're going to say, and then they're going to take off. They don't want to hear the truth. But we are responsible for telling the truth. We have to say it, whether people like it or not. We have to say it, right? So I blame a lot of governors for atrocities that are happening on the city. Again, we're going to touch up on Oregon. And we're going to touch up on that one group that everybody seems to be defending on the left side. But, don't blame tariffs for that. That is the first thing that governors did, blame tariffs. You know what? They've been destroying our state. And I want to speak specifically here for Washington State. Our farmers are suffering not because of tariffs. They have been suffering for years. And we have less and less and less farmers here in Washington State. Go look at the history about what Washington State stands for. We are a state of farmers. And there is no farmers anymore. You can go see some farms, very minimal. It used to be a lot more. And Crazy enough, Washington State became one of the greatest states in the United States of America. Seattle has been growing little by little, and it's been getting more popular. And at some point, we have so much tourism. Tourism is down because crime went up. They spend billions of dollars making looks in the downtown Seattle. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars remodeling the pier. You know what? That could be a good thing. That could be a good thing. But I don't think it was really necessary to go that far. Plus, you're using the taxpayers' money to waste on things that they're just going to graffiti on. They're just going to make dirty again. They're just going to destroy. It's just like making a brand new school, thinking that you're gonna give better education to students, and yet those same students are over there joining gangs, and they're being indoctrinated into this. Let's not get into that. All right. But I want you to just really think about what you say. If you come in here and you say you want to blame tariffs on that, you are wrong. I think tariffs will have an impact, but that's not what farmers are going through. It's not because of tariffs. They have been suffering for a long time. And if you haven't been paying attention, big corporations are removing small farmers. They are big, they're bullies, and nobody defends the small farmers. They just want the big farmers to get ahead. And hey, you know what? More power to them. But don't overstep over the small local farmer. Let them live their life. Let them farm. That some of those properties and farms have been in families through generations. And the government does nothing to protect them from these bullies that bring a lot of money. There's so many corrupted lawyers, judges, senators, governors, and all they can do is stand against President Donald Trump. And we'll get to Oregon, but let's continue listening to what Kennedy is explaining here. Why Democrats shut down the government. And this is the most important things that you have to know. Because you're a taxpayer. Because you're an American. You are supposed to defend your country. You're supposed to fight for this country. Benefits belong to American citizens and residents. Resident aliens also qualify for these benefits, but nobody else does. Let's continue. You guys already heard. I'm sure that everybody know that they have been using all these millions and sometimes billions of dollars foreignly. USAID. They are an NGO corporation, and they have been caught with their pants down because they have been wasting a lot of money on things that do not help the United States of America. And I'm not talking about feeding the hungry. I'm talking about stupid stuff. And you guys know what that is. But let's continue listening to Kennedy, because Senator Kennedy, besides being funny, he actually is dropping some facts over here.
We're in the process of negotiating a budget with our Democratic friends. We ran out of time. The cutoff was midnight Tuesday night. That's when the clock struck midnight and the budget ran out. What we had asked for, and what we're still asking for, is to let's continue to negotiate, we meaning the Republicans and the Democrats, for 6 more weeks and try to agree on a budget. That's all we're asking. We're not asking for any additional appropriations, any conditions, any stipulations. All we're asking for is what we call a clean CR. All we're asking for is just further negotiate. And Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, who has done a stellar job in rising to the leadership of her party as a member of the socialist wing. They're about to elect a socialist mayor of New York. I think Mr. Mamdani's going to win. They have said to our request, let's just continue the status quo for 6 more weeks. They said, we'll give you 6 more weeks if you will give us $1.5 trillion. That's what they're demanding. And that's why we're shut down.
And I will point out, they want Jesus. Lord, help me. When they were fighting the big, beautiful bill, one of the things they complained about was the massive expending that they were going to have. Good morning, Will. How are you, brother? Thanks for joining by. A big, busy live, a total of 6 people watching. I am using the Streamlabs, brother, but they were complaining about the big beautiful bill because there was a massive expenditure bill and it was going to hurt the economy. Okay, they complained about it, they fought it, and then what do we find? That illegal immigrants were going to be kicked off of medical health, that they were not going to qualify to get benefits anymore, that we were going to have body able to work Americans back to work, and that they will still qualify if they could at least work 20 hours a week. Now, at first, I thought it was 5 hours a week, which was ridiculous, but 20 hours, I guess, is part-time job, right? So they have to work at least part-time in order for them to qualify for benefits. Again, the Democratic Party, the whole time they filibuster during this over-the-night voting for the big, beautiful bill, and they complain about the expenditure. Oh, we're wasting money. We don't have money for this. We don't have money for that, right? $1.5 trillion. Listen to this. We supposedly, as you guys know, President Donald Trump went around the world. He put some tariffs on, brought other countries to negotiate. Now we got over, what was it? I think the last number I heard was $17 trillion in investment for the next 5 years. Okay? That's actually good. $17 trillion of investment, which hopefully will carry on, and I believe that it will only carry on if President J.D. Vance is in office. You like how I put that in there? So Vice President J.D. Vance, I hope that he becomes the next president. And I know that he's going to follow the policies from President Donald Trump. So I'm excited for that. But here is what Democrats have done in the last couple of decades. We have over $22 trillion unaccounted for under Democratic administration. Why am I upset? Well, we are $37 trillion in debt. And these clowns want to use a $1.5 trillion not for the benefit of Americans, but for the benefits of illegal immigrants and other ridiculous programs from other countries. And I believe Kennedy is going to mention them here. I hope I didn't miss it. Let's listen to him.
Now, let me say it again, Mr. President. I don't hate anybody.
Thank you, Will.
This is America. I sure don't hate the Congresswoman. She is entitled to her opinion, but I'm entitled to mine. And she can criticize my policy positions, but I'm entitled to criticize hers. And I'm here to tell you, Mr. President, in front of God and country, based on her policy positions that she's demanding, based on her policy positions that she is demanding, that I just outlined, $1.5 trillion of pure, unadulterated spending porn. Based on that demand, based on her policy positions, the American people are looking at her
unadulterated spending porn.
Has single-handedly put an end to dumb blonde jokes. Because that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Based on her policy positions, $1.5 trillion of this kind of spending porn, the American people are looking at the Congresswoman and saying, with respect, she must be bilingual. She must speak English and stupid. And that's why we're not agreeing to it.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I know every one of my Democratic colleagues, and I know more than half of them know better. They know what we're asking for is reasonable. I'm just asking them to meet us halfway. We're not asking for any additional provisions. They shouldn't ask for any additional provisions. And let us just open back up and continue to negotiate for 6 weeks. Don't be scared of the Congresswoman. Don't be scared of the socialist wing of your party. I suggest the absence of a quorum.
So,
Well,
and I agree with him to a certain point. Sorry about that. I agree with him to a certain point because, as I mentioned earlier, Ocasio-Cortez did say that if Republicans think that she is in charge, that they can come into her office. So she didn't really say that she was in charge. So I'll give him that benefit of doubt. But the fact is that, well, Democrats are letting Ocasio-Cortez get away with whatever she wants. And we know that the party is not it's not Chuck Schumer's. It's Bernie Sanders' party. Now, I want to jump over to the Oregon situation that we have here in Oregon State. He is, brother. He is 100%. He's telling the truth. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, you got to be realistic and be like, okay, we need to really put some facts on there. And whether I believe that Ocasio and Bernie are the ones leading the party, well, you know, we have to accept that it was Hakeem Jeffries, or as the better known, AKA Timo Obama. He's fantastic. Kennedy, Senator Kennedy is phenomenal. I love that old man. If I was going to have a dad, that would be the dad that I want. Somebody that will tell me stories and it'd just be as funny as heck. Would love to spend some time with that old man. But we're talking about Oregon here, and I will let you know, guys. I watched this sort of documentary, and you guys can probably find this in YouTube. It's a little disturbing to see how Antifa, they actually did some type of documentary on them. And there's a guy says, oh, Antifa gave us 3 days or something like that. 3 days or 3 months, I can't remember what it was. But they're talking about their views and what they believe and why they are doing what they're doing. Now, what's crazy is two things. So one of them, they think they are doing the right thing. And the second one is there is people out there that believe them. Here's a sad truth. And I know some of you might not like this, right? Well, you guys do because you guys are subscribers. You're friends of mine already. But let's be honest, and I will point this out. If you guys don't know, in third world countries where poverty is so high, where survival is so low, those are the places where corrupted either government agency or religious groups get the most submission from. And what I mean submission is not in a submission of like, you know, this is a great religion, they believe in God and everything is good. No. Submission because they have no choice. They offer them a little bit of food and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, here is my redeemers, right? They brought us some food. Now we're saved. Let's go ahead and support this cause. Well, Antifa is going around, and once a week they go to a park, okay, and they set up a table and they make sandwiches for the homeless. And then you got people that actually are in corporations, teachers, ex-vets, etc. And they're out there like, oh, I don't see anything wrong with them. They're over here feeding the homeless. And I mean, they're doing something, right? They're doing something for the country. And it's just like so crazy how people have this leniency towards violent people just because they give free sandwiches to the homeless, just because they support illegal immigration. Like they're letting their emotions overcome their common sense. Every country, every citizen of every country has the responsibility to fight for their country, to protect their country, to respect their country. And not only that, but to make foreigners respect the country as well. Mexico, it's suffering the consequences of their actions. They made us Americans look like evil people because we didn't want to accept illegal immigrants on here. Now, we had over 11 million illegal immigrants coming during the Biden administration. You guys already know about the riots in LA. You guys know about the riots throughout the country with people supporting illegal immigrants. You guys know all this. And yet, Mexico, when we told them, right, I'm talking about President Trump and the administration, the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, which, by the way, most of Mexicans are starting to hate this lady. And they're going to be turning against her, I'm sure, eventually. Maybe, maybe not. They are threatened by the police. This is sad, guys, but it's true. And there's a reason why I'm talking about Mexico, I'm sure. The police controls the people. The police and the military have joined to control the people. So some people disagree with them and they talk back and whatnot. They do arrest criminals, but at the same time, it's such a thin line and it's such a way that we can't see exactly what's happening, right? Because I will come back to the States. They tell the people that we need police and military to bring peace. At the same time, though, she says that she is not willing to make war against the cartel and these drug lords. She believes in hugs for everybody. Okay, so now she's having an issue of the southern border, and their government is probably looking like they're going to shut down themselves, right? So they don't want to accept illegal immigrants anymore. But that same president that wants to shut down, well, that actually shut down the southern border, is the same one that was telling illegal immigrants in this country, in the United States of America, to stand up for their rights and fight and protest and keep doing what they're doing and just mobilize across the whole country of the United States of America. That's what she said. And we, the people, we started complaining. I mean, I haven't heard much from anybody else in America, to be honest. It feels like I'm the only lonely voice that points out that because of this massive migration that has happened here in this country of the U.S. of A., housing has gone through the roof in pricing. Very expensive. There is not enough housing to house everybody. No city can withstand 11 million people invading their country. When you have millions of people going through your city, that city cannot sustain that many people so fast. There is no city created to be able to take care of a multitude of people, brand new people coming in at the same time. It creates chaos. It destroys the economy. There is a clip that I watched from Mexicans, and it's supposed to be funny, right? But this clip was about, there is two Mexican construction workers, and they're eating top ramen, right? And the guy that is narrating through the video, he's saying, oh, look at these guys. They're over here. They come and work their butt off, and then they make all this money, and they send all of it to their wives in Mexico. Think about that. Now, the joke is that they're over there cheating on them with other men, okay? And that these guys are over here cheating on their wives with other women. But this is the point that I get out of it. And if you missed it, here we go. A lot of people say that illegal migrants, even though they're illegal migrants, they are paying taxes. They are making a lot of money because they work hard, and that helps the economy. But I'm going to ask you, how is that helping the economy when they're sending most of their money to their country of origin? That doesn't help us. And let's go ahead and talk about this. And I mentioned this before in some of my lives many months ago, a couple of months ago. And I said, people say that illegal immigrants have paid over $100 billion in taxes in this country. You know what else I find out? Because I do my own taxes. I have a family of 4, and there is a certain threshold of money that you make to be able to, qualify for some sort of refund, right? So, for example, if I'm a family of 4 and we're making about $35,000 to $38,000 a year, I have 2 children. Here in Washington State, we get that's not the normal. I hope you're making more than that. Well, you're in a different state. What state are you in, Omar? I think you told me, but I forget. What state are you in? Here in Washington State, if you're making $35,000 is what it is, okay? But $35,000, you get a $3,000 earned income credit per child. Now, that also depends on the age of the child. And you pay around $2,800 a year in taxes. Now, this is just a $35,000, right, that I am working. I'm paying taxes. They're taking taxes out, federal, Social Security, even though I don't have one. It's fake, right? We shouldn't be able to do no income tax return, but yet they do. And they get back, get this, they get back about $9,000 refund. So they paid $2,800 in a year, and they got back $9,000 for that year, meaning they didn't pay taxes at all. And they benefited from a benefit that belongs to the American people of $6,000 for this family. Now, there was something that happened in Texas, and this was a big scandal back then, maybe over 10 years ago. But there was people claiming taxes, and they were allowed to claim people in their country of origin. And this specific example was Mexicans. This family here in the States, they got over $20,000 tax refund. Now, I will point out a few things before I get to Oregon, and there's a reason why we're talking about all this. If you're working under the table, that money does not get reported. If you work and you're here illegally, then you're committing fraud because you're using fake papers to work. A lot of people got their identities stolen. And somebody down in California has my phone name, Social Security, and they're working. I have reported it, so they probably got in trouble already. Probably got deported, hopefully. But it happens. They can take all your information, and they can go to work, and you can say, oh, well, hey, you know what? They're making more money, so I'm going to get a bigger refund. No, the more money you make, the less chances is that you will get a refund on your taxes. So that's not what you got to think about with illegal immigration. And a lot of people don't think that way. They don't use common sense. They use their emotions to judge what's happening across the country. With that being said, we have this group of Antifa. Now, I know there's a lot of Antifa sympathizers out there. I get it. All right, I get it. But these guys just go around insulting the police, and the thing that they believe the most is that all police, all of us that support the government and respect the laws, and we want everybody to abide by them. We want people to, they are. We want people to respect federal law, as in come in here legally, do not be in this country illegally. They call all of us Nazis and fascists. That is their words. That's what they love to say. And they say it with such a hate. And yet they pretend that they care about this country, that they only do what they do because they love this country. That's very disturbing. And you guys should wake up to that. I'm not going to tell you go out there and confront them by yourself. I showed you guys a clip yesterday of a man that got knocked the heck out. He got knocked out cold. When he woke up, he decided not to be a bully anymore. All right, let's go ahead and listen to this news from Fox. You probably already heard this. I talked about it last night, but I don't think I showed you the clip on this, maybe part of it. But this morning I was grabbing some clips so I can show you guys, because I've been trying to use my desktop software to give you guys better view of what I'm talking about. So this is a journalist that got attacked after, well, you guys take a look for yourself.
Anti-ICE rioters continuing their siege in Portland, Oregon, an immigration facility there. This was last night. Officials say this has been going on nearly every single night for the last 100 nights. Conservative journalist Nick Sortor was in Portland on Wednesday night and saw things spiraling.
This is America.
Yeah, they put those words on their signs too. So classy. Here's what Nick posted on X. Degenerates outside the ICE facility in Portland surround me and promise to F my effing mouth open, whatever that means. I have a feeling it's going to be a long weekend out here. Please send in the guard, President Trump. Well, last night was indeed a long...
I will say this. What I noticed on that is that he did push her, and that's assault. Okay? That's what I'm going to point out. I don't see anything else happen there. But the hypocrisy of the police is what we're going to look at. And then we can judge it together. Let's take a look.
Long one for Nick Sortor. He says when he returned and began filming, he was surrounded by rioters who pushed him and started throwing punches.
Of course, they intimidate him. I get it.
He tried to disengage and sought refuge near local police, but they arrested him. He and two other rioters were charged with disorderly conduct. Let's go to Bill Maluzhin, who is in Portland right now. And look, Bill, I know you caught up with Nick Sortor after his release this morning. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Harris, good afternoon to you. We did talk to Nick pretty much minutes after he was released from jail this morning, so we asked him what went down last night. What he told us is he was out here filming protesters as they were getting maced by federal agents, and he said it was a little embarrassing for the protesters because they were shrieking and crying about having the mace in their eyes, so they didn't like being recorded. So they kind of chased him down the street a little bit, then surrounded him and pushed him down into a flower bed. He says they then punched and assaulted him, and he tried to defend himself. Take a listen.
So they threw multiple punches at me. They broke my camera by hitting that.
That's
so
assault.
I was on the ground at that point. I tried to swing. I missed. I saw the opportunity to get up and get away. And that's when I went over to the police officers, which I thought, you know, maybe they'd help me. But no, instead they threw me in handcuffs. This is going to backfire on them tremendously. It already is. Okay, people knew that something out here stunk and that it was corrupt and that the police they take the side of the violent criminals that are here every single day, assaulting ICE officers, assaulting journalists. And then a reporter comes and, you know, tries to embed deep within the chaos that's going in out here, and he's the one that gets arrested.
And Nick went on to say he got a personal phone call from Attorney General Pam Bondi informing him that DOJ is launching a full investigation into the Portland Police Bureau in relation to his arrest out here last night. But it doesn't stop there. DHS also giving their reaction to this, announcing that as a result of this arrest, DHS is going to be surging CBP and ICE here to Portland. And the city of Portland was already unhappy with how much ICE was out here in the first place. All of this happening in the context that the National Guard is being deployed out here. They
morning,
just haven't
Bernier.
shown up yet, guys. We'll send it back to you.
You know, he's really fortunate. He wasn't hurt in all of that. When you talk about the property damage that he suffered, and now the feds are looking into it. Bill Malutian, great reporting as always. Thank you. Look, Griff, you've been on the story of ICE detention centers being protested, and you've seen some of this. You were in Illinois.
I mentioned last night on my live that, you know, they say themselves, Ozzy, he's moderating. I don't know. I don't think Ozzy is in here no more. I only have 6 views. Can you believe this? I try to use my desktop to show actual videos, right? That you guys can enjoy more, and yet it just, we have like 5 views, 6 viewers, and one of them is me on my cell phone trying to monitor what I'm looking at. But anyways, you know what? I'm going to do this more often on the desktop. I think that what I can do is I will try to do these maybe once. I will do it on my desktop and another one on my cell phone, and we'll see the reaction that we get. Ozzy, are you a moderator already? Let me see. I don't like to have too much moderation going on because I feel that sometimes that inactivity in the chat becomes a problem. Let me see here. Okay. Huh. So I make sure that you are. Because I feel that sometimes that... All right. Sorry, I just opened up the browser with my live here. Let me see. Just to be able to make you a moderator. I don't think I have any... let's see. Okay. All right. Per Berniel's feedback. Per Berniel's feedback, you are a moderator, Ozzy. But Trinity is actually my best moderator. She knows what I want. She knows what I like. I love Trinity. Good morning, sis. How are you? Thank you for joining. I have been sitting in the... Oh, good afternoon. Wait, is it? Oh, it is afternoon. Man, it's Saturday. I'm thinking it's like 7 in the morning. I'm actually tired because I stayed up way too long, bro. Way too long. And I've just been watching videos and stuff, but it's all good. I wanted to do a live around noon. I will do one in the afternoon, but I'm going to do that on my phone. Trinity, how do you like this format? I know. I love you so much, sis. I appreciate you so much. You're awesome. Vin says, cheers. Welcome to the Motley Crew. Not Motley Crew. It's speaking of the Motley Crew. You know, I never really heard about these guys when they played and make songs or whatever. But the reason why I know that, it's because I photographed one of their small little gatherings that they had. Not the Motley Crew. Okay, I wanna point that out. I think that sounded that was a lie. It's not the Motley Crew, like the original crew. It's another group of people that are replaying their songs, and they kind of try to follow the looks. It's like a fan, musician fans that represent the Motley Crew. And that's how I know them, because I photographed them and I gave them the pictures for their website. And you know, Berniel, I see that you're like a businessman, right? One of the things that's really, really bad with me is I am horrible at marketing, very horrible at marketing. I just can't do it. I don't know. It's something blocks me. You know what they said? They said, so how much are you going to charge me? And I was just so careful, you know, not to try them scared, you know, to hire me or whatever. Because I was thinking, yeah, you know, $500, you know, I should do it. I mean, it's just a one quick night and, you know, whatever. It is very low light. It is very difficult to capture very good photos that are usable, that they can promote and they can use. Plus, it's a promotional photo so that they have to pay as a business pricing. And I know all this, right? So I told them, I said, nah, I'm just doing a favor for a friend. I got you guys. I got you. I'm being nice. I'm throwing that freebie out there, right? Thinking that these guys, they're going to call me up. They're going to, hey, anything else? Boom, bada bing, bada boom. I got some money. I got a client that I am giving a free service so that they will contact me again and again and again. Because I'm going to make them look good on their photos, right? Well, that backfired. They hired somebody else. Somebody else that actually charged them a lot of money for some crappy ass photos. And there we are. So yeah, bad marketing, it backfired on me. Yeah, man, you charge your time of what value you provide, regardless if people can or can't afford you. Just be a fair man. Well, that's the thing. I always think that baby. Ooh. Sorry, I'm being distracted by my wife. After 14 years, I still get distracted, my man. We're going fishing? What do you want to do now? I thought you wanted to go try out your luck. No? Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, I have to work on some more stuff over here. Sorry, I'm over here conversations with my wife when I'm in a live. What the heck? So unprofessional. Apologize, guys. But you guys, the only people that are in here are my subscribers and friends. It looks like it's my members that are in here. So love you guys for that support, and it's actually good to have you guys. So you can see Trinity. I give it a shot. I try to use this software on my desktop, and of course, the more I use it, the better I get with it. But you see what I mean? Look, we have like 9 viewers, and again, one of those is me. And it's just like, what do you do with that? Like, I notice a lot of people that get like hundreds of thousands of views. It's not really from their lives. It's from like videos that they promote out there. And I think maybe that's what the thing is. They're promoting their videos. I'm not promoting my videos. I just leave them there, and hopefully people watch them. I think if you promote a video, you got to invest money in it. And right now, we're not into that capacity yet. But I'd rather do my lives. I think you get more interaction from people. And I think a lot of people come in and actually listen to the show. So, we get a bunch of people. Like I've noticed some of the average views are actually pretty low, pretty high. So the people that do stay and watch, they do watch most of it. I understand people got to work. I understand people are doing stuff. But like myself, I listen to other podcasters. I listen to news. And I make a list in the morning, right? And I make a list of all this stuff. This is back when I was going to work all day, right? Now it's like wherever I'm going, I am listening to it. But yeah, I know, Ozzy. Thank you, brother. I do have faith. Have faith, little grasshopper. Yes, sir. Berniel has been pushing me, man. He's been encouraging me, and he doesn't want to let me be negative. And it's not about being negative. It's just I'm trying to be neutral on where I am with myself. Right? I'm not the best guy out there. I am honest, and I try to be sincere with everything I say. You guys seen me. You guys, unfortunately, you have seen me very emotional sometimes, especially during prayer. Just let you know, tears when you're praying mean nothing unless you mean the prayer that you're saying. Let's see, charge for your time. Seems like the format doesn't attract all the trolls like the other. That's what I'm saying, Ozzy. I think he has it set to subscribers only for 5. Not anymore. I took that off. And before I start the live, it does show me what filters I have put in, and I have none of those. So there's a few setups that, trust me, I've been working on. There's got to be some sort of not diesel. I was thinking about gas. Some sort of default settings because the software that I'm using, it automatically connects to the browser from YouTube because I'm signed in already in the software. I don't know. Some of you guys that use it know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Let's see what else we got. Young Grasshopper said Trinity. Yeah, that's 100%. I know. Sometimes Chucky will come out in all of us. Yeah. Why do we look so ugly when we cry, bro? I don't understand that. Everybody looks ugly when they cry. I hate crying. I like laughing more. But even when I laugh, I'm still crying as well. Ozzy says, I don't have Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok, but I can share it on Gab. I don't even know what the hell that is, bro. Oh, man. See that, Omar? We love you, man. It's not just me, brother. It's not just me. We're all praying for you. That is crazy, though, man. I don't understand. You know what, Trinity? I got a notification that I was live on my cell phone. I got a notification. So I'm not sure why people are not getting it. Maybe everybody that's subscribing is not hitting the bell button. You know, they got to hit that bell to be reminded. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. I thought that I share some of the clips that I've been looking to in the news. We talk about the government shutdown, trying to give some information to all Americans. It's not about leftist or right-wing minded people. It's all Americans. Everybody needs to know the truth. And most of you guys already know anyway. But yeah, I will actually go live again, but I'm going to do it tonight from my cell phone. There will be no more videos. It will just be a straight feed. And I hope to see some of you there. I know you guys are carrying on. It's the weekend. You're supposed to spend some time with your family. I'm still trying to figure out. I get so itchy. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm addicted to come live. But I love doing this kind of stuff. I like, if you guys notice, I'm a very shy person. I don't like talking too much. You know, not a very public figure at all. I just don't have anything to say. I got so much to say, man. I got so much to say. What do you think about Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl? You know, just like Ozzy doesn't watch legacy media and all these news casts and everything, I don't even know who the hell Bad Bunny is. I'm assuming he's not a good guy because a lot of people are having an issue with him. So I don't know, brother. I don't know. Let me see. I found Gab after my Parler account was deleted. Well, we went with Trinity. You know, we've been talking about different things. We checked out Rumble. We checked out TikTok. TikTok is the crappiest social media that I can use. But I find it very interesting, guys. I kind of get ticked off about some of the rules, the community rules, because, for example, I got kicked off a live because I was holding my gun with my passport. I don't know what the hell they thought I was, but in that same video, I showed that there was no clip on my gun, and then I showed that there was no bullet in the chamber, and I even pointed it out to the camera, and I cocked it a few times so people know that there's no bullets in there, and YouTube just blocked me. They took away my going live access. And yeah, whatever. So I talked to Trinity, and she's like, oh, well, you know, let's try this. And I wrote, Trinity, I'm trying TikTok. And then I said a couple of things about civil duties and some things about being American patriots. And all of a sudden, I'm getting blocked from TikTok. And I say, F TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just very upsetting. And the worst thing is, like, me and Trinity are going through the YouTube videos, and we're seeing, obviously not in person. She's in Tennessee, I'm in Washington State, but we're talking about it. And then, you know, there's a guy, they're doing a shooting video, right? And he's got like a gun on his chest. He's got a gun on his waist, a revolver on the other side of his waist. He's got a shotgun. He's got an assault rifle. And he's shooting all these targets. And I'm like, I don't even have bullets in my gun. Why is this a problem? Like, what the hell is going on? And so I still don't understand. And then on TikTok, you see all these stupid videos, like dumb things, like these people doing these stupid dances and doing just, just dumb stuff. And they go viral. So I feel that in a way, they are censoring us in one way or another. Now, what I don't understand, well, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe these people that are making the dumb videos and all this other stuff that has nothing to do with, telling people the truth, right? It's so much easier to make a jackass out of yourself. You guys remember that movie Jackass? I thought some stuff was funny, but at the same time, I was like, man, these guys are jackasses. Never mind. I guess that was the name of the movie. That's exactly what they were going for. But you know what is amazing, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, all of us in here are adults. Now, I know if I hang out with Bernie and Ozzy and Trinity, we're going to act a fool, having fun, and we're gonna be probably look like childish people, making jokes and laughing about this and talking weird, right? It's funny, but when it comes to real issues, we gotta have a switch button that say, okay, hey, whoa, hey, listen, man, that was funny, but it's time to get serious. And I'm the kind of person, I always tell people, I will laugh and joke with you and just have a good time. But when it's time to be serious, I need you to be serious. What's crazy is this, that people get to see me, and I'm a big clown. And when people put that clown face over and over, those haters, I laugh about it because I am a clown, right? I've always been a clown since I was a kid. My mom was the best joke teller, and then one of my older brothers took over the joke telling. I am horrible at joke telling, but I'm still a clown. I always find some type of healing on making people laugh. And, it's like I'm not, any of the famous comedians from the Hispanic communities. Nothing to do with the Latin kings of comedy, which were actually some of my favorite comedians. But man, I make people laugh and they see me as this joker. But then when something serious happens, they don't like me because I'm very strict. I am very disciplinary. Like, whoa, I don't think that's funny. You just hurt somebody. That's not funny. Jokes are funny. Words are funny. Hurting somebody, that is not funny, So I see the native side in you. You should tap into that part of your bloodline. Let it spark. Thank you, Bernie. Let's see. Hey, Tyler, how are you, brother? I left you a comment on one of the, and I replied on one of your comments earlier today, I think it was. God bless you, my man. But I love that. I like to be real. I don't like to be fake. I'm that one guy that is at work. Now, not to toot my own horn, but I know, I will say you guys are the same way. I'm a hard worker. Of course, I want my attention. I want to feel appreciated, and I want my money. This is why I'm working hard, right? Oh my, who's the beta? Beta! Nah, all my members are amazing. Oh, man. That guy, man. I'm going to miss him when he's gone. He's getting up there, guys. He's getting up there. Omar, you messed up my story, man. What the hell was I saying? Oh, man, that threw me off. Tyler, hello, fellow patriot. Yes, thank you for the question, Trinity. Did you get a notification, bro? Anybody? How many of you got a notification? I want to know. Amazing. I gotta talk like I have a cold in order to say it right. Amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, it's exactly how Trinity spelled it. That's how I hear it. Let's see. I did not get notifications. You see that, bro? You know, we got 7,100 subscribers, and those 7,100 subscribers did not get a notification. That's great. Can you imagine, guys? If we coming soon, Omar, coming soon. It's actually a lot of work, guys, to do merch. I will tap into. Oh man, it's just right now is a little bit tight economically, but I will tap into. I did this for a while, okay? When I was doing my photography, and it wasn't going well, I reached out because of the business permit. I reached out to companies where you can buy shirts at a very economical price, and then I found a company that will do. There's a charge for going one time, but I can give them a design and they'll send me sheets that I can, with the heat presses that I have a couple of heat presses. With the heat press, I can put that design into a shirt. And it actually comes out pretty good. It's not bad. Very nice. And so I might tap into that again. I'm not going to, okay, as a matter of fact, I just thought about this. Do you know what the initials of my show are? Can anybody guess what the initials of my show is? There you go. I'm going to type it out. But I want to give you a few seconds. I think I have like a 5-second timer, 15-second timer or something like that. Guess what the initials for my show is. And eventually it will be a legit official show with a logo and all that stuff. Let's see if anybody hits it. Pretty close, Omar. Pretty close. What's missing on that? Somebody. Yes, yes, baby. You got it. Now, where else have you seen those three initials? Department of Homeland Security. Department of Health and Social. Oh, wait, that's missing one S, I guess. That wouldn't be it. DHS, that's it. So we're going to, I might have some shirts made out with some DHS. People are going to think something else, just like when you have a t-shirt with the FBI on it. What does FBI stand for, Omar? That's right, Department of Homeland Security, baby. What does FBI stand for? Let's see, Omar. We're all cats in here, so we know what it stands for. But, Omar, what does FBI stand for? I'm having a little fun, guys, before we get out. Nobody else reply. I want Omar to tell me. $50 an hour DHS starting agent pay. Whoa, what? Oh, man, I'm in the wrong business, brother. The wrong business. Telling the truth doesn't pay that much, I guess. But we'll get there. No, no. That's not what it stands for. Here. That's what the FBI stands for. I thought some of my old school people in here would know this. Oh, man. Of course, it's Federal Bureau of Investigation, but not for us. It's a full body inspection. Just like I seen this shirt. Have you guys seen this shirt right here? It's this one right here. Have you guys seen that? Chicks hate me. But the shirt is a couple of little chicks. little chickens is why they hate me. Chicks hate me, or chicks love me, and instead of girls, it's actually little chickens. I thought that was funny. See, Bernie, this is why I'm not into the comedy thing. Not everybody laughs. Only Trinity is finding it amazing. Amazing. Oh, man. I love having the interaction with you guys. It's funny because I started coming in here on the business, serious mind. And we're going to talk about the government shutdown. And we're going to talk about unconstitutional policing, which since you guys got here, I never got to it. But let's finish up with unconstitutional policing. I want you guys to tell me, what do you think? Is it unconstitutional when you see the police defending Antifa protesters and yet arresting law-abiding citizens? Is that constitutional? Out of all the times that these people on the street have saying, oh, President Donald Trump, what he's doing is unconstitutional. Is that unconstitutional? Navy inspection tomorrow. You talking about the speech already happened? Is there another one? I think I will. I will actually do. I will cover it. What's constitutional? Yes, they should. Well, the Constitution is for we the people, right? We have the right to peacefully protest, which we try. But the moment that we protest against these violent protesters, we look like the bad people. Yeah, law-abiding. Like, for example, you and I, Trinity, like, all of us, we're going to go over there and we're going to counter-protest the protesters, right? These guys, now, they no longer are getting away with everything, right? I will check it out, Tyler. I will check it out. We have the right to protest and be anywhere we want to be on any public landmark, on anything, on any public property, parks, etc. This guy kicked us out. They even get, confrontational with us. They get protected, and we don't. They are arresting law-abiding citizens. That is not constitutional. Now, this journalist that got arrested, right? You already know about this, Trinity. I think last night I mentioned it, but this morning I put the video on it. The guy gets arrested, but this is the same guy, I think. It might be a different guy, but he actually pushed somebody in the group. Now, I get it. They're getting all up in his face, and he's trying to make some space, but nonetheless, that's the way that they will look at it. You know what I'm saying? And so I will check it out, Ozzy. I will check it out. How do we defend ourselves? Like, these police officers, right? They go and grab these two young ladies that committed actual assault on another female. They give her a black eye because they hit her with a flagpole. They don't get arrested. The police grabbed them. They had them. And they let them go. Yet this guy, because he's not fighting, he gets arrested. And you guys heard him earlier on the video. There were punches thrown at him. So, where do you go with that, right? Yeah, I don't know. These people they are just, I don't know. There's a song that says, we didn't start the fire. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I'm still fine. But everything is happening, and we can do nothing. We can't do anything about it. What can we do as American patriots? What can we do? We go out there, the police doesn't have our back. The president is doing what he can in order to to protect us Americans. And these governors, specifically Democrat governors, senators, they're just allowing us, the American people, to be unprotected, to be harmed. This is not what they're in office for. They're doing the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. I haven't seen your video yet, but I'll watch it right after this. Yeah, well, I mean, you have to watch the whole chat again, I guess. But let me see if I can find this clip, and then I'll try to play this little part for you guys that are here. That's funny. I find my own video. Here we go. Let me look this up real quick. We're going to play it from the beginning here from Fox so that you guys can see it. Just because Trinity needs to see it. Here we go.
Continuing their siege in Portland, Oregon, an immigration facility there. This was last night. Officials say this has been going on nearly every single night for the last 100
You saw this one already,
nights.
Trinity. But
Conservative
what's the
journalist
rest?
Nick Sortor was in
I
Portland
hope I
on
got the right
Wednesday
one.
night and saw things spiraling.
Right here. See right there, and she shoved her. And that was the old man that was burning the flag. Remember, Trinity?
Yeah, they put those words on their signs too. So classy. Here's what Nick posted on X. Degenerates outside the ICE facility in Portland surround me and promise to F my effing mouth open, whatever that means. I have a feeling it's going to be a long weekend out here. Please send in the guard, President Trump. Well, last night was indeed a long one for Nick Sortor. He says when he returned and began filming, he was surrounded by rioters who pushed him and started throwing punches. He said he tried to disengage and sought refuge near local police, but they arrested him. He and two other rioters were charged with disorderly conduct.
Very nice.
Let's go to Bill Maluzhin, who is
Good
in
job,
Portland
police.
right now. And look, Bill, I know you caught up with Nick Sortor after his release this morning. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Harris, good afternoon to you. We did talk to Nick pretty much minutes after he was released from jail this morning, so we asked him what went down last night. What he told us is he was out here filming protesters as they were getting maced by federal agents, and he said it was a little embarrassing for the protesters because they were shrieking and crying about having the mace in their eyes, so they didn't like being recorded, so they kind of chased him down the street a little bit, then surrounded him and pushed him down into a flower bed. He says they then punched and assaulted him, and he tried to defend himself. Take a listen.
So they threw multiple punches at me. They broke my camera by hitting that. So I was on the ground at that point. I tried to swing, I missed. I saw the opportunity to get up and get away. And that's when I went over to the police officers, which I thought, maybe they'd help me. But no, instead they threw me in handcuffs. This is going to backfire on them tremendously. It really is. Okay, people knew that something out here stunk and that it was corrupt.
Wow. First of all, if somebody breaks my camera, oh my God, I would lose it. I would lose it. Oh my God. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to disclose some information for you. Okay. My camera, when I bought it, my camera was $2,600. Okay. I got a $1,500 lens on it. That's $4,100 right there. It took me a while to save that money. Now I did that as an investment. It already paid for itself through my photography business, which I no longer do. So all the equipment that I have, the photography business paid it back to me. I got it. Okay. But if somebody broke my camera, oh, hell's gonna break loose. I tell you that right now. Not because of an accident, but because somebody like literally went after and just make me break my camera. They will have to pay for that. Now, like I said before, the one thing that I saw him do was push that female. And I will say this, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or right. I don't know what the law is on this, but she got all up in his face, and it looks like she made contact with his body. And so him pushing her away, not a punch, he did do this, but he didn't punch. He pushed her away from him to make some room, right? So what I want to see this guy, what I want this guy right here to do, it's sue the Oregon Police Department, and I hope he gets millions out of it. These losers need to learn that they need to protect its law-abiding citizens. I don't care what organization is out there. I don't care whose violent people are out there. You don't arrest the people that are not being violent. You are there to protect them. You're there for their safety. That's what the police is supposed to be doing. And it's the same crap here in Seattle, Washington. Very sad. I remember in the 90s when I was talking with some sheriffs from the Snohomish County here in Washington State, when I was trying to maybe become a police officer. You know, they were encouraging me to do it. Fortunately, I was only a resident, so I couldn't become a police officer. You know, and then today, now in age, we find that illegal immigrants have become police officers, just claiming that they're citizens, but they're not. How does that even happen, bruh? How does that even happen? Antifa and the BLM were allowed to burn down the whole country and never held accountable for. Well, it's the same city council is telling them, you know, carry it with you, burn their phones, wear masks. And do you think that these people have the money to do that? No, somebody has to pay them. Somebody has to give them some monetization. Interesting. Very interesting. In Tennessee, he could have laid her out and not been arrested because she was the aggressor. I can't help to find, but to say this, but she was Mexican, and this is one of those things that, you know, migrants and illegal migrants are wrong about doing in this country. How do they come into this country and just feel so entitled that they are more important than American citizens? I don't understand that. And why do people support them? That's the biggest question. Why do they support them? Guys, we're going to continue talking about this later tonight, unless something else happens. I will continue listening to the news. If there's something new, I will go ahead and bring it to you. I am going to go fishing again. Trinity, I have been unsuccessful. I think all the fish are gone. They're not swimming anymore. So I'm going to go join. Trinity, do you remember a guy that came in last night? I call him Young Buck. His username is Ken Sofa, and he was saying hi to me. He is actually a Laos monk. Isn't that cool? He's a Laos monk. They want to talk about J6, but not J617. Yep. When Obama ordered the intelligence agency to target Trump with the Steele dossier. Interesting. Interesting. But we're going to do that live from the cell phone because, sadly, only 9 people were able to join us live. Very interesting. Guys, I would appreciate it if you guys share this live. I don't even know if it's worth even sharing, to be honest. I feel like this was a failure of a live. The only thing I can say is, guys, love you very much. Thank you for your support. I will see you guys later today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Get out there and spend some time with the family. I will try to get my kids to go with me. If not, it's going to be a lonely daddy day again. But Omar, God bless you, brother. Hang in there. You will not be homeless forever. Homeless MAGA, he says. Father, thank you so much for your day. Thank you for the opportunity that we get today to come once again and be able to share with friends. Thank you for allowing me to come on this live. Thank you for helping me, giving me the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to get in here and get more acquainted with software and things that we need to use so that we can give better information to the people out there. Father, I thank you, and I ask you just today for one thing, Lord, just one thing. I ask you that you look after our brother Omar. Father, I know he's going through some hard times. You know I went through some hard times. You never left me alone. You always gave me your love. I ask that you do the same for Omar. And that, Lord, that you help him find a happy home where he's really going to be happy. His own place, his own little cave where he's just going to be so happy to be in. And he's going to have our love and support. And maybe one day we'll come together in some sort of way. Father, we thank you, Lord, for everything that you do. We give you all the honor and glory forever and ever, my Lord, in the name of Jesus Christ. So let it be done. Amen. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. I will tune out later today. You know, I'm addicted to coming live. If I am in an area where I have good reception, I will do it right there. If not, I will come back home here, and yeah, the cameras and the background is not going to be as good, but we're going to do with what we got. All right, guys, love you much. We'll